Crazy for Walking is an initiative that aims to destigmatize mental illness and promote mental wellness. The initiative started last year with a 1,500-kilometer walk from Pretoria to Cape Town. At many of the towns along the route, there were expert speakers who presented public talks and presentations about mental illness. Now, the initiative is once again doing another walking campaign this year, but it's quite a different one. I'm joined in studio by Francois Louw, the CEO of Crazy for Walking, to talk more about this. Good to have you. Welcome to Morning Live.
Good morning, Leanne. Thank you for having us back. Much appreciated.
It's an absolute pleasure. Okay, so you have a very different walk planned this year.
Yes. So last year we had such a lot of response. You know, it was obviously an organized walk over 5 weeks. And on the route, everybody just started saying, what you guys are doing is great. How can we join? Are you going to do it again? So we had to sit together and we said, what are we going to do that's really great? Suicide has just been out of hand.
Indeed.
This past year has been a real bad year on the suicide area. So we said, how do we open this up? How do we make sure that everybody makes sure that all steps are taken to prevent suicide? Any and all steps. And so, you know, this creative team of Crazy for Walking came up with the idea, why don't we walk to Mars? You know, mission to Mars.
Yes.
So we're going to Mars this year.
Well, I'm very happy to hear that. And a lot of people are saying, man, the organizers are crazier than I am. So how is this going to work? A walk to Mars?
Yeah, obviously you cannot really walk physically to Mars.
Exactly.
Okay. So we want to accumulate the steps. And what we want everybody to do is to participate and donate their steps towards the goal of reaching Mars.
Okay.
We're not sure if we're going to make it, and the way that we're going to do it is through technology.
Yeah.
We're not flying there in some fancy car or something. We're literally adding the steps of everyone that is contributing to this whole mission to Mars, and we are launching our app today.
Fantastic.
So tonight, when America goes live, then actually we would be able to have the app up and running, and you can download it, and you just make your steps count, and you contribute to this great cause of destigmatizing mental illness.
So a crazy question. How many steps is it to get to Mars?
It's a shortcut. Okay, we decided we're going to take the shortcut to
so
Mars.
You're taking a short route, right?
So it's 54.6 million kilometers. It's quite a number of steps.
54.6
million kilometers.
Have you calculated the steps, though?
It is going to be quite a bit of steps. But if you break it down, if you only have 1 million guys walking for 5 days, 5 kilometers, we're halfway there.
Wow.
Okay, but we're not going to stop walking. The reason for that is we cannot stop walking and having every step count towards destigmatizing mental illness. Of course, on the way, we are doing the mental wellness talks all over the country, down in the south, in the center of the country, as well as in the north of the country. And we're having actual events as well. Apart from you just walking in the gym with your equipment, your phone, whatever smart equipment you are wearing that's connected to your phone, you link it into the Crazy for Walking, those steps will count. We will have these major events down in Cape Town. For instance, there will be walks on the mountain. You know, it's a symbol of mental illness, like a mountain in front of you. And taking one step after the other, actually you scale the mountain and you reach the summit. In the malls as well in Cape Town. Why do we go in the malls? Reason is that every day it's said that you walk past people, because 1 in 3 people has a mental illness incidence in their life. And 75% of those people never seek any help. So we're walking past people that are hurting on the inside, that's actually dead on the inside. And they've got these masks and they're walking past us every day. So we want to be out there where society is, where the people are. That's happening in the south. Up here in the north, we're going to walk actually at the Union buildings. And we're going to do a circle route there for the whole week. The last day up until the 10th of October, which is World Mental Health Day, we're going to do a 24-hour walk right through the night. Once again, why do we do that? It's symbolic of mental illness is a cyclic disease. You know, you find yourself in the cycle of disease, and just taking it on and facing it, and gives you the equipment and it skills you to actually overcome the disease. And apart from that, a key South African strategic point, we need to have the policymakers, the politicians, to really assist us to take on the stigma of mental illness.
Yeah, it's a big stigma and it's a big problem, but I think we're getting around it because, you know, many years ago it was never spoken about. You know, you would sort of have to just try and think, you know, there's something dramatically wrong with me and I have no idea what it is, whether it be depression, whether it be anxiety, whether it be panic disorder, whether it be any form of depression, because these are all different forms of mental illnesses.
Exactly.
And there's so many of them, but like you say, people walk around undiagnosed and it can just drive you mad, whereas you can get an answer to this and there is a solution to it, and that's something very, very big. So as was with last year, you had different talks, perhaps psychologists with you that could try and help and speak to people. Will this be the same case this year?
Exactly. We're going bigger, we're going better. So we actually have more participants this year, much more participants.
How many participants did you have last year, by the way?
Last year it was 26 that walked, you know, the full-time walk. But on the road, people just joined. They just wanted to join the course. So this year we hope to get 1 million, 2, 3, whatever it takes.
Is it, I mean, from what I'm hearing, when you say it's going live as an app and it's going from the United States, is this an international initiative or is it purely local?
This is a South African initiative.
Okay.
It started right here. And we really want to focus on South Africa, but it has drawn international attention. The reason it's America, those guys are sleeping, you know, they switch on our apps on that side.
Okay.
So on the 1st of October, when we go live, it'll be tonight.
Yes.
So that's why it's there.
What is the app called?
Crazy for Walking.
Okay, so you can search it on...
You can search it on the Google Store, on the App Store. It will be on Crazy for Walking. You download it, and then we make the walk together.
And can anybody be a part of this? I mean, for instance, me, if I don't get to walk, but I just... What do we link up a watch? Link up a... How do we work
your
it?
Smartphone?
Yeah?
It will count it.
Okay.
If you have a watch, if you have a Fitbit, or any of those gadgets, you know, in the gym, it will also add the steps to it as long as you link it to the app.
Yeah.
So there will be a lot of talks, and the talks, as I said, will be in the center of the country, Bloemfontein, where at the moment there is a Riemland walk. That is another walk that's happening. Once again, illustrating the endurance, the long walk you have to have with mental illness to really overcome it as well. It's sometimes a lifelong disease that you sit with.
Indeed, but we talk about this app. I keep going back to the app because if you do download it, is there more information on it in terms of depression, anxiety? Because there's one thing counting steps, but if I need help, when you wake up in those dark hours of the morning and you're all alone and you don't know what to do when you're going through this and you feel like your world is coming to an end, or you in fact want this world to come to an end, is there help out there?
Yes, exactly. So we've actually linked up and we've made partnerships with other entities in South Africa where the helplines are. For instance, I can mention SADAC, you're aware of them?
Very, very much so.
So people can call, and this app will actually direct you as well. When there is a help button, you know, I want help, I need help, where do I go? And so it will actually direct people specifically to places of help.
Yeah, and that's important. That's really important.
And information about it.
Yeah, a go-to tool when you find yourselves in those desperate moments. How big is mental illness in South Africa? Is it on the rise? Are we getting to grips with the situation, becoming more spoken about and educated about it? Or is it still something that has a stigma associated to it?
I really think that we've made some headways, but we're not near where we should be. There is a lot of more talk that is happening due to what's happened this past year. But I think our talk also needs to deepen. And by the way, in terms of walking, we're saying, let's walk the talk. When we walk together, we talk together. And there's a myth that if you talk about mental illness, it actually brings on mental illness. No, it buffers mental illness. So much more talk needs to happen. In terms of the scale of mental illness in South Africa, a 2016 study done by the Economy School in England illustrated that mental illness accounts for 5.7% of GDP. Put that in numbers. It's 232 billion rand of economic impact every year on society. That's where mental illness is. Is it on the rise? I'm convinced. Because the World Health Organization also indicated to us that if there is a lot of trauma, man-made or natural trauma, being drought, earthquakes, tsunamis, or just simply violence, like we see, it's really crazy how it's risen in the last part, then the chances of mental illness actually doubles. So just giving the realities of life around us,
Okay.
it illustrates that we definitely are seeing a rise in mental illness.
All right, we need to leave it there, but good luck with it. The launch is this evening of the app, so go there and check it out on your app stores. Crazy for Walking should be out this evening, and you'll be able to download it, become a part of the walk to Mars, we should say. Francois Louw, CEO of Crazy for Walking, having various walks in Cape Town, Pretoria and Bloemfontein. Thanks very, very much for being with us and raising some awareness on mental health. Okay, we need to go